I need to do this. I need sight this time, and I know it, and I'm ready for him. Unless you're Khabib Nurmagomedov, he didn't really care about social media, but
So welcome back everyone to the MMA Locker Room YouTube channel, and today with us we have Erko Jun, who is all set to headline Brave CF81. So Erko, first of all, how are you feeling, brother?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Thank you. It was a hard week, hard camp until now. This week was also very hard. Yesterday we had a really tough sparring rounds, but everything is going well like planned, alhamdulillah. And we're gonna do our thing on the 20th of April.
So you mentioned that it was a hard camp. So tell us a bit about the camp that you have been going through ahead of the fight.
Well, listen, like every camp is hard. Every camp is tough, and there's no camp without small injuries or small things that are going on. That doesn't exist, in my opinion. There's always something, but you need to work with it and try to make the best out of it. And also listen to your body. So that's a big mistake I didn't do in the beginning of my career. It was listening to my body and always going in the red zone and trying to completely kill myself. But now we're a little bit wiser, also more experienced. So we really do our training exactly for the fight that's coming up to give the best performance.
Awesome. So you'll be going up against Said, who is already experienced in Brave CF. So what are your thoughts on your opponent ahead of this fight?
I'm really, really, let's say, happy to join the cage, to share the cage with him, because he's an experienced fighter and fought in Brave as well, was a former champ, has a really good record, fought some tough guys. So for me, it's like next step up in my career. And it's a really big, but also a challenge. So I need to do this. I need sight this time, and I know it, and I'm ready for him.
So Said, like we all know, had held the title for some time. So do you think that this fight is important for your title aspirations as well?
For sure. I'm aiming for that belt, and they know it. They know it. Brave also know it. This is my fight. If I win this fight, I want to fight for the title. There's no champ at the moment at light heavyweight. Even now we could actually fight for the belt, but I understand the circumstances. Also, for Said, didn't fight for a while in Brave. So I believe after this fight, I need to fight for the title. I need to wear that Brave belt around my waist.
So do you think, like after winning this fight or after this fight, like you'll get another name who would challenge you for the title? Like if you can think of one name, like what name would that be?
I can't really, like, for me, Said was a name, because he was a former champ, and I know Fahreddin was the champ before as well. Now he's a middleweight champ, right? But now there's no champ in the light heavyweight division. So actually, what we could do is we could say, okay, let's fight now for the belt. Me and Said. Let's square things up. There's a champ, and then everybody can challenge the champ. But we will see. For me, this fight is really important. With belt or not belt, I'm aiming for that belt. So I'm coming. Whatever is in my way, I'm coming to take it.
So you've been known for your knockout wins, and last fight also you secured a knockout win. So like, are you going into this mindset into this fight to get that knockout win, or?
No, because that's a mistake I did in my first step of my career. The 3 fights, I did that. I went over there. I said, this is the only thing I'm doing. I'm going to knock people out. But eventually I learned that it comes from itself. You don't chase the knockout. The knockout comes from itself, So I know I have these very strong weapons. I have my hands, my legs as well, my knees, my elbows. Everything comes very explosive. When I punch or when I kick, I come to do 150% damage. There's no easy shots. And I believe, like, it comes from self, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see after that. Of course, winning with a knockout is amazing feeling.
So going back to the early years of your career, like you had a very tough upbringing. So do you think that has contributed to your resilience inside the cage?
For sure. I think, like in every career, I mean, in general, in life, whatever you're doing, sometimes you need to go a step back, or to realize, oh, this isn't really going like I thought it was going, And I think these setbacks are really important, because this make you the fighter you are now, this make you the complete fighter, because it's very difficult, in my opinion, it's very difficult coming from a loss, or let's say a bad situation, and to conquer it and come back again, and do something. It's really difficult. And I think those moments are the ones that make the character of the fighter, and also the experience and the wise times. I think it's really important.
And like you have a bodybuilding background as well. So how has
Yes.
that helped you in your MMA career? And which one is harder, bodybuilding or MMA?
MMA is for sure harder, for sure harder. Trust me, it's. I think it's one of the hardest sports in the world. Really, like on a top level, like professional. It's really taking a lot from the body. Bodybuilding is it's a different sport. It's you need to be like physically visible, physically looking good, but you don't really are like condition wise looking at that matching your body. You know what I mean? It's a different sport. The muscles also different, and but I think bodybuilding was a big advantage for me if we talk about discipline, because bodybuilding learned me how to have discipline with my trainings, but also with my diet, with my nutrition, and I think that's a big plus.
Awesome. So apart from your MMA career, like you've been a successful influencer as well. You've been doing good numbers on social media. So how do you manage all this? Like how do you plan out your content creation and training?
I do it all myself. It's. I think it's something from before. I knew earlier days I had to start my social media. It was also the golden times before it was much easier to get a following like now. But now, my main part now is keeping my people active and my social media. And I do this the way I am, my personality. I like to laugh. I like humor. I like also action. So I try to mix it up. Some real hardcore MMA stuff mixed with some humor, with some emotions, and people love that. I will never be someone else on my social media. I'm always myself, and people when they meet me, they also say, "Oh, Erko, this is." Sometimes people have a different look at you when they see you, like the tough guy. He's knocking out people, but then when they meet you, he's really like a friendly person.
So you're basically a fighter first and an influencer second. So we are seeing a lot of influencer crossing over to fighting as well. So what's your thoughts on when you see such fights?
I see a lot trying. In one way, it's normal because listen, why? Because these influencers, they fill up the arenas, sell the pay-per-views. Eventually, it's all business. Everybody's gonna needs to get paid, but there are not a lot of influencers that also do the, let's say, they show good martial arts. It's not a lot of a small percentage, because it's really a hard sport. It's totally different. And also, you as an athlete, you need to evolve, and everything depends how quickly you learn. Especially if you never had any martial arts background, it's really tough. In one way, it's entertainment. In another way, I understand also a lot of fighters that are fighting professionally 20 years, 15 years are thinking like, what kind of bullshit is this? I understand it. But this time, social media is a must. Social media is a must. And as a fighter, you can get much more out of your fights, out of your sponsor deals, if your social media is up and running as well. It's sad, but it's true. You can be the best fighter you are, killing everybody, unless you're Khabib Nurmagomedov. He didn't really care about social media, but he just he smashed everybody, and he didn't have to do social media. But the following came. But you know what I mean. It's a plus. It's a plus. So
So apart from yourself, is there any other MMA fighter that you see as is doing good on social media?
like Honestly, like most of the people I'm with, like they're doing a good job. Um, like my clan, let's say the people I work with and train with, eventually everybody's doing it and they're doing a great job. Also, if we talk about brave, if we talk about brave fighters, Jolton Peregrino also doing a great job on social media. Ismail also doing a great job on social media. I think it's a little bit like it takes a little bit time, but they're doing everybody needs to do it.
So you also mentioned last question regarding the social media stuff. So you also mentioned that there are certain influencers who are not well in martial arts. According to you, who are some of those influencers who are good at fighting?
We're now talking only about boxing. First of all, his management, he's doing an amazing job. Why? Because he's selecting guys that are not top tier strikers or top tier boxers, but are legends in MMA, or let's say had really good performances in MMA, and he beat them with boxing. This kid is doing a good job because he's evolving. He has good trainers around him. He has the money to do everything. There's good doctors, everything, training camp, and he's also willing. He's putting the effort, so his boxing is getting better. Doesn't mean he's a top tier boxer from the world, but compared to other fighters, MMA fighters that are not boxers or strikers, you saw the result. He knocked them out. Now this fight with Mike Tyson, in my opinion, it was not necessary really because Mike Tyson is a legend and he's old. He's old. Why he needs to prove himself? I don't want to see him like getting hurt because it's possible with Jake. He's young. He's fast. I don't underestimate Mike Tyson, but age is a big role also with your reaction time and everything. And if he would get knocked out, it would be a sad day, really. And but then again, the management, amazing job because both of them gonna make a lot of money from this.
So coming back to Brave, you made your debut with a knockout win. So can you recall your debut and how was it like to fight in Brave in your promotional debut?
It was really nice. It was really nice. Also, if I when I started my career, I already knew about Brave. All the, let's say, all the one of the best fighters in the world or the most famous fighters in the world come from Brave Federation. It's a really big organization, and they also have like the most events in combat sports. So for me, it was a big honor to fight there, and especially to do a debut like that and win in front of the crowd and with a knockout. So I'm really happy to be back, and especially in Slovenia. And I wanna continue, going to other countries and give best performances while we can and while we are still the health is okay. That's really important.
Awesome. So as you make your return to Brave, what can the fans expect at Brave CF81?
They can expect spectacular fight like always when I come into that. But why also most of my fights, I have a short MMA career. Most of my fights are main event or co-main event, and firstly, I'm really grateful for that and thankful to God that I can do that and be a part of that. But secondly, they also know why they put me there as main event or co-main event because they know when I come in there, I come to beat up people. I come to do damage and knock people out, and people like to see that. People pay for that. They love to see action in that cage, and I will always bring it with me. So they can expect that. That's why people are coming, and yeah, I will be ready for it.
So lastly, Arko, like you had a roller coaster life. Ups and downs have been there in your life. So what advice would you give to the upcoming MMA fighters in general from your life?
I think the best advice I can give them is that in my life, sports always brought me to the right path. It kept me away from distraction or doing bad stuff. And now these days, you have so much gyms. Now is really a good time. I mean, the easiest time to enter a gym. You have so many MMA gyms, martial arts gyms, or just in general fitness gyms. If you don't like martial arts, in general, sports is the key. To have structure in life, discipline, and to have a better life.